mine in the gym. Where did you do yours? It was a jungle gym, if that counts. Oh, another funny thing about having kids is people's reactions to your kids. Because it's one of these things, there's certain things you don't become aware of until you have children yourself. And one of these things is that generally people have no idea how to talk to children. A lot of people think the only way you can communicate with a child is to scream at them, like you're visiting your nan in a home. They're like, hello! What's your name? They're not deaf. Other misconceptions people have, that you've got any more idea what your baby's saying than they have. I was with my son, he was very little at this point, he was still in his pram, we were coming back from the park, and a little old lady, a family friend, stopped us and she was like, hello! Where have you been? And Alfred went, and she looked at me and she went, I don't know! You heard the same thing I did, love. I'm not the baby whisperer. Just because we share blood, I don't get subtitles pop up. It's not like Sherlock. And people repeat stuff. You hear the same things over and over and over again. And it comes from a good place. People want to be nice. They want to say supportive, friendly things, but they're not sure what to say. So you just hear the same 3 or 4 things over and 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 over again. Oh, he's growing up. You get that? Oh, isn't he growing up? Oh, look at him, he's growing. Oh, isn't he growing up? Yes. That's what happens? Were you not aware of this? It's basic human biology. Human beings, we start out small, we get progressively taller, we get a job we hate, we die. You know, that's the way. What, you think my son's going to start getting younger? Well, next time you see him, he's going to be small. He's not Benjamin Button. He's not going to start aging backwards. Idiots. Thanks. Have a nice day. Oh, she looks like you. Oh, that's the one you hear more. Oh, she looks like you. Oh, Dave, she looks like you. That is a completely empty platitude, all right? I'll tell you that for nothing. I know this to be a fact, because someone said it to me once when I was with a child that was not mine. Yeah, I probably should explain, because I'm sure you... What were you doing with a child that wasn't yours? Your name's not on a wall in Exeter, is it, by any chance? I was out with my goddaughter, thank you. And it was a while ago, she was about 7 or 8. And I just realised I picked it up and didn't have a drink. That's very remiss. And we were walking up, we were at Clumpton High Street, and I was holding her hand, and we were walking up the street, and suddenly we stopped because she wanted to look in this shop window. I don't know why, it was a drapery. I don't know why an 8-year-old girl was to look at curtains, but it was making her happy. And we stood there looking at bedspread, and this little old lady stopped to look in the same window. And I wasn't personally bothered, because I don't care about such things, because I'm a bit of an arse. But she obviously felt a bit awkward being in a social space as somebody else, and she felt obliged to say something. And she was not a gambling woman. Oh no. No, now was not the time for reckless improvisation. She wasn't going to busk. She looked at me and she went, oh. And she looked at my goddaughter and she went, oh. She looks like you. And I don't think she was expecting my reaction to be, I hope not. Because that would be awkward. Yeah. Mike, got something to tell you. Can you put the hammer down first? That'd be lovely. People like to give you advice as well about having children, which is always welcome. Please keep doing that. Or if they don't give you advice, they'll just say something outright unhelpful for no readily apparent reason. I don't understand that at all. I don't know what they're hoping to achieve by that. I mean, our daughter doesn't sleep particularly well, bless her. It's a bit of a bone of contention in our house. She's not great at sleeping. But I can guarantee you, if we're talking to people, like other parents or anybody else, and we say that, oh yeah, Alice doesn't sleep great, to a man, they will all go, really? Because I'll sleep fine. Oh, well, how wizzo for you! I'm glad you're getting your 8 hours. Dicks. It's actually quite horrible when you think about it. If we told them that our daughter was blind, they'd be going, really? Because ours can see fine. Yeah. Hello, Alice! How many fingers am I holding up? Just horrible people. The horriblest people, though, for giving advice about having children. Do you want to know who they are? Have a guess at who they are? People who don't have children themselves. Chipping in with their 2 pence worth about what it's like to have children. While I have this forum, actually, because it's being filmed, it's probably going to end up on social media, right? I feel duty-bound on behalf of all other parents everywhere to say, until you've had children yourself, you have no idea what it's like to have children. You are clueless. Shut up. Any opinions you have are wrong. Any frame of reference you think you have is incorrect. I've got nieces and nephews. It's not the same thing. My best friend's got children. Not the same thing. I've got a cat. Fuck off. I'm not making that up either. I was having a discussion with someone about it, and they actually tried to equate having a child to having a cat. It's not the same thing, not even remotely. And I can say that with complete objectivity because I have children and I have a cat, and I know which one pisses me off less. My cat has never weed on me, my cat has never thrown up on me, I've never got some of my cat's poo under my own thumbnail. My cat has never woken me up at the middle of the night to show me a bogey. And in 15, 20 years' time, I haven't got to pay to send my cat to university. I love my cat. How can you say that having a pet is anything like having a... If you've got kids, right, you can't just put a dish of food on the floor down and go out for the night. That is frowned on. That is a call to childline. When you go on holiday, you generally have to take your children with you, right? You can't put them in kennels. You can't give the next door neighbour but one a key. There you go, Doreen. We're just off to Benidorm. Can you pop in for a couple of times in the week and feed the kids? And God forbid, if anything really badly drastic happens, you can't bury your children at the end of the garden. You can't. The police will ask questions. Oh dear. But yes, so... But I do understand for some people that, you know, pets are child substitutes. I get that there are people like that, but they're weird. People who treat pets like children they make me very uneasy. It's like people that dress their pets up. What is that all about? You know, why are you putting a coat on your dog? It's got a coat. It was born with one. It's attached. It doesn't need another coat. With pockets? What is a dog going to put in its pockets? You go in the pub, your dog's going to be like, I'll get these. It's ridiculous. And if you're going to dress your dog up, go with it. Like if you've got a pit bull or a Rottweiler or something, don't put it in a little fleecy tartan number. Put it in a combat vest. Maybe a little beret or something like that. Go the whole Che Guevara look. But no, dressing animals up. There's a guy I used to know who had a big... I'm a bit fuzzy on the whole breed thing. It was either a golden retriever or a lab, a big golden dog, whatever they are. And every Christmas, this guy used to make his dog wear festive dealy boppers. Do you know what I mean when a dealy bopper? They're ping pong balls on the spring. So every Christmas, this dog, attached to its collar, walking around like that. And the bloke used to think it was hilarious. He thought, look at that, lovely. The dog just used to look so pissed off. Just abject humiliation on his face. It's like, just don't, alright, just don't. I know what I look like, alright. First he chopped my bollocks off, now this. It's just... You think this is bad, you should see what he makes me wear at Easter. A dog dragging a big cross. But yeah, people that talk to their pets like they can understand them, you're just deluding yourselves. Animals at best know a few words. They know, like, you know, a few commands and their name. That's it. So having a conversation with the dog is pointless. I used to work in a pub, and we used to get this loopy mare who used to come in on the afternoons, a couple of days a week. And she had again, I don't know the make and model, German Shepherd, Alsatian, whatever. Big dog. And she'd come in and she'd sit in the window seat with a big broadsheet newspaper spread out on the table like that. And the dog would sit on a chair next to her like her co-pilot. Just sat there like Chewbacca. And she'd be reading the classified ads out to the dog. And all the locals would be sat at the bar like, even the dog was looking at her like, what are you doing? I'm a dog. I'm not interested in a second-hand trouser press. I'm not. You know. If I can't eat it or shag it, I'm not interested. Oh, kids, bless them. And yes, as I was saying before I went off on a tangent, people who don't have children giving advice on having children, it's something that really makes me chuckle in a sort of psychotically furious, kill them sort of way. I'll give you a recent example. As a family, we were all in a Toby Carvery. I'm not proud of it, but we were out, we were hungry, and we have children. And when you have small children and you want to eat out, you need to eat somewhere where you're guaranteed to get your food quick. So you do find yourself eating a lot of carveries because you are basically eating to a deadline. We've got it down pat now. We've got about 25 minutes to half an hour before our children get bored, don't want to sit at the table anymore, and they just want to run around the restaurant. And then it becomes less of a meal and more like one man and his dog. Like, hey, come back, back to the table, out of the kitchen, back in the table, back to the table. So we're sitting at this table, we're wolfing down our carveries as quickly as we possibly can because they're already starting to twitch a bit. It's not taking me that long to eat mine because my wife's stolen most of mine. Does anybody else's wife steal their food? Yeah? I'm not alone? We should form a support group. Yeah. Is there anyone we can ring? Is there a number in a phone box? My wife's terrible. I have to guard my food. I'm at home like this, behind a little wall of condiments. And for some reason, if we eat out, it's worse. It's like eating in a restaurant or something like that. It just exacerbates my wife's kleptomania. It's terrible. And she's shameless as well. She doesn't wait until I've gone to the toilet or I'm not looking or something. No, straight over from her side of the table with a fork like, I'm having that, I'm having that, I'm having that. It's like Crocodile Dundee spearing fish. I'm like, fuck off! It's my food, all right? This is my food, the food here, in front of me. That is your food, the food in front of you. It is a very simple situation. It's not any way open to misinterpretation. My food, your food. Well, I just like the look of it. Well, you should have fucking ordered it then. You know what? Do you know what I've started? This is a shameless thing to admit. I've actually started ordering stuff I don't like. Based purely on the fact that my wife doesn't like it either. So I will sit there in a restaurant and eat something I don't want just so that I get it all to myself. I didn't know you liked scallops. Oh yeah, I'm all about the scallops, mate. Oh. So that would be my advice to anybody out there planning on taking a trip down matrimonial lane. Marry a vegetarian, because that way their options for nicking your food are a bit more limited. Just order yourself a steak, you'll be gold. The worst that can happen is they'll nick the salad, and let's be honest, you were probably going to leave that anyway. Marry a vegetarian diabetic, because then pudding's a fair game too. Fill your boots. And for the crock of gold, for the holy grail, marry a celiac, because they can't eat anything. If you marry a celiac, the world is your culinary oyster. You can pile your plate up with as much food as you possibly... While they sit there frowning at you over the top of a bowl of hot water with a twig in it. I don't know whatever celiacs can eat without keeling over. I don't know. I haven't done any research, I don't care. Anyway, I digress. So, we're in this Toby Carvery. I'm eating what's left of my lunch. And there was a table of ladies sat behind us, about 5 or 6 of them. And one of these women did not have children. She was really easy to spot because she was dressed really nice. Hair all done, full face of makeup. I think the bitch might have even been wearing a bra. Big hoop earrings. And as any woman here who's become a mother will tell you, earrings are the first thing that go, because that's just a trip to A&E waiting to happen. And anyway, they're all clucking away in a meeting, and this lady pipes up, and this was her opening gambit. She goes, I don't have children myself, but... And I instantly think, oh, this is going to be good. She said, when I do, they'll only eat healthy food. They won't eat any rubbish. So, oh, you come here, you little yawn. Yeah, good luck with that, darling. And it's true, when you first have children, you put the hours in, you make the effort. You know, you want to make sure they eat healthy. You know, they're eating all organic, you want to make sure they get all their vegetables, you know, you're making sure they've got the right stuff, and when you're going shopping, you're fastidiously checking all the labels to make sure stuff hasn't got too much of this and not enough of that, and after a couple of years, you're just pushing whatever you can into their faces to keep them alive. Usually, as they run past. Because I know other child people have this kind of rosy idea that at dinner times you all sit down to dinner together like the bloody Waltons. It doesn't happen. Toddlers never stop moving. They're like sharks. Meal times for a toddler, it's like a Formula 1 car coming into the pit. It's basically in, change the tyres, go. They're just blurred colours whizzing past. What the hell was that? I don't know, but my croquet potato's gone. And they keep you on your toes with what they want as well, because their tastes change minute to minute. They'll love something on Monday, they hate it on Tuesday. I was making breakfast for my son the other day. I'm normally the first one up in the house, so breakfast is kind of my gig. And I was making him what I believed to be, at the time, his favourite breakfast, which is banana porridge. Oh yeah. I know I don't muck about when I make banana porridge, ladies and gentlemen. I go full Gordon Ramsay when I make banana porridge, which means I get frustrated and I swear a lot. But I do, I make the effort, you know, I mix it all up properly, I make sure the porridge is just the right consistency, so it's not too thick, it's not too thin. I make sure the banana's mashed up all nice so it's not lumpy, I mix it all together. Sometimes if I'm feeling adventurous, I put a little bit of cinnamon on the top. And there's one morning my little angel is sat there all expectantly at the dining table, I popped it in front of him, and he looked at it like I just presented him with a turd. And with an almost MasterChef style put down, he just goes, no. No, Daddy. And I'm there with a tea towel over my shoulder. but it's banana porridge. You love banana porridge. Don't like it, Daddy. What? You've had it for breakfast every day for a month. What are you talking? I don't like banana porridge, Daddy. But you threw a massive tantrum last night because I wouldn't give it to you for dinner. What are you on about? I don't like banana porridge, Daddy. It's like it's a Jedi. I don't like banana porridge. I gave up in the end. I just walked away. You know what he had for breakfast that morning? Pringles. Oh, shut up, don't judge me. He's not dead, I've done my job. I'm a responsible parent. I've got a picture of my kids as a screensaver on my phone. What more have I got to do? Children, they're the gift that keeps on taking. And I don't want to moan about kids, because that's a very sort of cliched middle-aged thing to be doing. Oh, kids today. The fact of the matter is, I feel genuinely sorry for children today, you know, kids, young kids, teenagers, because I've got no idea what they do to amuse themselves. I really don't. Because the stuff my friends and I used to do when we were growing up, you can't do anymore. It's not allowed. We used to play a game called Knock Down Ginger when I was a kid. I don't know if you're familiar. It has different names around different parts of the country. But basically what you do is you go around in a little gang of you, and you ring people's doorbells, give it a minute, and then you run away! You can't do that now, unless you work for UPS. But all the stuff my friends and I used to do when we were kids growing up for laughs, now it's either outright illegal, it's heavily regulated, or not permissible unless you're wearing body armour. Have you seen a kid riding their bike these days? I mean, just just riding their bike. They're dressed like Robocop. Big helmets on and elbow pads and knee. I'm surprised they don't just tip over. When my friends and I used to go out on our bikes, our parents weren't even bothered if we were dressed at all. When it was the hot Saturday in August, we'd just be out in shorts, maybe flip-flops. And people say, oh, well, what happened if you fell off? You got back on. Yeah, what happens if you fell off and you hurt yourself? Again, you got back on. Well, what happens if you fell off and you really hurt yourself? You know, there's a theme there. You got back on. Right? You didn't want your friends to see you crying, so you wait till you got home, you'd have a bit of a blub, you show your mum you hurt your knee, she'd slap some TCP on it, boom, next Saturday you're good to go again. You weren't anybody growing up when I was a kid if you hadn't fallen off your bike. We always just swap fell off my bike stories. It was like a badge of honour. Would you like to hear my I fell off my bike story?
Yeah!
Good, because you have to. I have a microphone. I want to get one of these for home. I would have been about 10. It was just after my 10th birthday, and I got a brand new bike. And I was very excited because this was my first ever brand new bike. I'd had bikes previously, but they'd all been second-hand or used. And this was the first time I'd ever had a brand new bike. It was a BMX Spitfire. Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, you know, yeah. It was red and white, and I looked the shit on it. Oh. My friends came around to pick me up on Saturday to go bike riding, as they did every day. My dad and I had it all planned. I was waiting behind the garden gate. My friends were like, "Is Scotty coming out to play?" My dad was like, "Yes, he is." And he whipped open the garden gate. I came screaming out, "Scotty's got a new bike!" I felt like a god. To this day, I still kick myself. I hadn't had the presence of mind to hire a dry ice machine. Off we go on our bikes, bombing around like the Goonies. And we go right over to the other side of Chelmsford, where I grew up, and we start